And I'm back. Yeah, y'all, today I don't know what's going on with, Mercury retrograde. That's what it is. So it is what it is. I'm still able to go live. I'm still able to talk to you. So I'm just going to chop it up to that. Hey, Danielle. So I'm not even going to let this frustrate me. I'm not going to let this get to me or anything like that. It is what it is. And Allison, where are you? Hi, everybody. Thank you for watching. While I'm waiting for Allison so I can send her the invite. This is Ruby D, the Goddess Entrepreneur and Soul Speaker. And every Sunday, Allison and I, we do Soul Sunday. And Soul Sunday is pretty much where Allison and I talk about topics. Hey, Allison. Okay, I'm sending the invite right now. So hopefully it goes through. But Soul Sunday is where Allison and I talk about topics that are important but are not really discussed like most topics are. But today we actually have a good topic and we think you all are going to like it. So definitely if you feel that anything that we say resonates with you, or if you have a question, want to engage, feel free to do so. Danielle, Mercury retrograde is pretty much, it's, how can I explain it? It's pretty much where the planet Mercury slows down and it's almost like it's moving backwards, but it's not. It's just moving a lot slower than normal. But during that particular period of time, then it seems like communication is off. Just a lot of, I don't want to say weird things that happen, but you know what? I'll have to go online and find the post and then post it to give you more information about it. I'm just aware of it because I've never, maybe once or twice before, where me and Allison have had this much trouble with going live on a Sunday, especially when I've tried from my laptop and I'm trying from a cell phone and all of this kind of stuff. So, but I'm mindful of what's happening, and hey, it is what it is. If me and Allison has to try 10, 15, well, okay. If we have to try again, then we'll try again, but we're still going to go live one way or another. Allison, did you get the invite? Hey. Hey Keith, hey Mac, thank you everybody for watching. But while Ellen, oh goodness, girl, I don't even want to talk about it. But
We just
now that
smile
you're
through
here,
it. We're just gonna smile through it.
exactly, girl, I was just like, what is going? Oh, Mercury retrograde.
It's
Ah, that's
up.
what that is.
That
Oh, okay.
stuff. Yep.
But since Allison on here, we're just gonna go ahead and get started. If you happen to catch this on a replay, comment where your name and where you're watching from so we can thank you for tuning in. But of course, my name is Ruby D, the Goddess Entrepreneur and Soul Speaker, author of the Goddess Grind series, creator of this particular show, Soul Sunday. I also have Happy, Healthy, and Healing that we do once a month. That's actually coming up this Tuesday. I am an author, an entrepreneur, chakra expert. Um, I don't blog much. I have one, but I really don't, write on it that much because I prefer to talk instead of write. And if I'm writing, then it's in a book. But enough about me. Allison, go ahead.
Peace and blessings, everybody. This is Allison Denise with Be Still and Move, the organization designed to help you heal, grow, and live beyond that relationship status by becoming better, not bitter, and enjoying your life along the journey. I am a speaker, a teacher, a blogger, a vlogger. I help to get people to self-reflect so they can heal within before they keep hurting without and all of that good stuff. And I am happy and grateful and thankful and blessed to be celebrating another revolution around the sun today. So happy birthday to me.
Yes, happy birthday, da, 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 da. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, da, 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 da. Happy birthday to you. Okay, we'll
Thank you,
sing that
girl.
later
Thank
because
you.
we really got to get into this topic.
Yes, we do. I'm
Now,
excited.
today's topic, we just gonna get right into it, is the chakras and sexuality.
What's up, Will
So,
Herbert? Herb, I'm sorry. I'm getting there. My bad.
girl, you know, today has been one of those days I actually need to start sharing the video. I haven't even shared it
Oh,
because
yeah.
I just
Let me do
been,
that now. I'll do
I
it from
wanted
here.
to make sure you were here first.
Well, thank
But while we're sharing, pretty much, because I'm a chakra expert and that's what my niche is, then I like to always well, lately I've just been incorporating that more into the different topics of the week that we've been discussing, like for instance the chakras and mental wellness, the chakras and relationships, and today we're discussing the chakras and sexuality. The reason I wanted to discuss this is because um even though our intimate relationships, we kind of look at as, well, most people look at it as one dimensional, it's very much greater than that and bigger than that. And sometimes we don't like to admit how much that actually affects all other areas of our life, whether it's us getting too much, us getting us the right amount, or getting absolutely none. Whatever the case may be, it still affects us on a number of different levels. So today, that's why I wanted to, talk about that a little more. Another reason I really wanted to, talk about this is because I'm finding that a lot of people are not familiar with the chakra system, and I've been wanting to come up with more ways to relate it to our everyday life or things that most people are familiar with, so they understand, oh, okay, so the chakras do have, it does affect me and it does have something to do with my life and who I am and how I think and how I feel. So of
you.
course, with doing these episodes, that gives me the opportunity to make um um the idea of the chakra system more real to you and better for you all to understand. So, of course, with this particular topic, the chakras and sexuality, I kind of wanted to go back just a little bit to one of the past shows that we did, which was a live show that we did talking about detachment, attachment, and connections.
Mhm.
And the reason I wanted to talk about that is because it's important for us to know the difference between connecting and attachment, because again, some of us don't realize, um, some of us are only being intimate with someone because we're attached, and we have no idea what a connection is or what a connection is supposed to feel like. And that has a way of causing a multitude of problems in our lives, mentally, emotionally, and just on so many different, just in many different ways. So when I looked up the definition of connection, I actually have several. It says, as a verb, to bring together or into contact so that a real or notional link is established, join together so as to provide access and communication. Connection, a relationship in which a person, thing, or idea is linked or associated with something else. Now, with the definition of connection, it's pretty much one just being associated with the other. Um, you can be connected to friends, you can be connected to family, you can be connected to an idea, you can be connected to your business, you can be connected to a place. So there doesn't necessarily have to be an attachment. You can still be connected and not be in the same area. So think of it in that sense. Whereas an attachment, or the definition of attach, is to become a part of or join. And sometimes that can happen without you being invited. So who wants to be, you know, attached to someone and nobody wants you to be attached to them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. And when I read that, it just kind of, I was like, okay. That kind of just solidifies the difference between an attachment and a connection. When you make a connection, then it's almost like you pretty much have to have that person's permission to do so, in a sense, because you can't connect if there's nothing to connect to. So they have to be aware of it. Whereas an attachment, you don't need their permission to attach. Be attached to someone. You could just say, "Ooh, I like this person." Then all of a sudden, mentally and emotionally, you've attached yourself to this person, and they have no idea what's going on. That's not always good. So, but I only want to go over that just to kind of revisit that before we really got into the topic. So before we move on to the next thing, Allison, I'm gonna let you go ahead and chime in because I still haven't shared this video yet, so I need to do
Yes, ma'am. Well, first off, what's up to Jen? I think I already said a shout out to Will and Herb. What's up to Torio? What's up to Cyril? What's up, Sean? And what's up, David? So let's talk about this topic. The reason that I think it's important is because we don't understand sometimes exactly how important energy is, how it affects us in our daily lives, and staying with the topic today, we don't understand how it does affect us in our sexuality, because you have to remember that the act of sex is an energy and emotion exchange. And so if you are not effectively making sure that your energy within is balanced and correct and, free of any arrogance or bitterness or hurt or old wounds or old sexual partners, then what you're doing is potentially linking yourself up to another person, and now you're sharing that polluted energy with them, which will in turn pollute them, and by default is going to pollute the relationship that you guys have. And so I think it's really important that we talk about this as mature individuals. I know a lot of times people think sex, and some of us get back to the fourth grade where, ooh, she said sex, and ooh, they're talking about sex, but we're grown and we are sexual beings, and this is happening whether we discuss it or not. And so we need to go ahead and
exactly.
figure out, is this relationship polluted because this person is polluted, or did I bring the pollution into the relationship? And so let's talk about that today.
Right. And that we will. Now, thank you, Allison, for that input. So now let's really get into it. Okay, sex. Sacred energy exchange. A sacred energy exchange. You're right. For men versus women. Now, I'm going to tell y'all right now, some of the stuff that I say you might not agree with, but I don't care. We're not here to agree or disagree. We're here to share information. And either you're going to be open-minded to it or you're going to be closed-minded, but closed minds don't get fed. That's all I got to say about that. So, like I said, sex for men versus women. Sex for men, okay, when I talk about the chakras, I always refer our sexuality to or associate our sexuality with our sacral chakra, which that particular chakra is associated with feelings, emotions, sexuality, creativity, pleasure, etc. But what we have to realize is that that's even though that's for men and women when it comes to chakras, when we really get down into it, there's a little bit of a difference there. For women, it's embedded within our sacral chakra because that's where our womb is located. For men, it's more so rooted in the root chakra because sex for them, in a sense, has more to do with survival than it does feelings and emotions. Now, you have to think about it. That's why men can sleep with multiple women at one time and not feel a certain way about it because it's not tied to their feelings and emotions. Now, that's not to say that men don't have feelings and emotions. So don't get that confused or don't think that's what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying, sex for men is more about survival, more about that's what they were created for. That's why men can, impregnate women for the entire duration of their lives. But women can only get pregnant, within a certain time frame or up until a certain age. Because we have to care, we have to nurture, we have to do all these emotional things that we were created to do. So when I say the sex for men is more rooted in the root chakra, it's more about survival. It's more about, you know, continuing the legacy, having sons and, people or children to carry on the name and to raise and to be that man. And basically just that's what they were created for. So
Mm-hmm.
when we first understand the difference there, then we have a better understanding of what the disconnect is. So, now that I think about it, or now that I'm thinking about it, it's not, that foreign of a concept. Most of us know that most women or more women are more emotional when it comes to sex than men are, simply because that's a given. But understanding the reason behind it just a little better may help us to think about it differently and understand it differently. So I'm going to stop there so I can keep sharing and Allison can talk.
Okay, so the first thing, make sure you share to the chat room, the Bad Squad chat room, because I don't think Tate has come up here yet, and I
Okay.
can't seem to do it right now from my phone. Um, so
Okay.
here's the thing. This is one of the best explanations I've been given about, the purpose of sex between men and women. And it goes right along with what Ruby just said. And so you have men created to be the the how can I say it? We don't call what happens when they ejaculate, we don't call it seed for nothing. They are meant to plant seeds and to release. And so the woman, the body of the woman, who is our creation in terms of sex, is to be the receivers, the receptacles of those seeds. Now, in order to do that, we do have to have an element of nurturing, of emotions, and all of these other things so that we can receive whatever man gives us. Now, another thing that I want people to understand is one of the reasons that we are not designed to have children, for the most part. There are some women who are defying medicine, but the reason we're not meant to give birth for the rest of our lives is because it would, in fact, shorten our lives. Anyone who has had children or multiple children, you know that that is a toll. It's a beautiful gift and it is a beautiful experience. But to do that over and over for the rest of our lives, it would either drain us physically or it would drain us emotionally. And so that's why we are mostly given a cutoff point. The reason men are able to do it for the duration of their lives is because they are releasing energy, but they are not responsible for carrying around the result of that seed being planted. But what I want to say is that this is one of the major reasons I want to talk about this today, because you are receiving whatever that man is giving you. And that's why it's really important, if you are dealing with toxic men or toxic situations or emotional availability or someone who doesn't want to commit, they do have that right. They're not wrong for not wanting to commit. What is wrong, however, is that they are in fact rejecting what you want. So as long as you continue to sleep with them, you are connecting yourself to the spirit of rejection. And as long as you continue to connect yourself to the spirit of rejection, you continue to feel rejected. And then it begins to affect your self-esteem, your self-worth, how you see yourself, how you view yourself. That is where the disconnect needs to happen. When you are dealing with people who don't want what you want, they are not wrong. You have to make the decision to just seek it elsewhere. And for my brothers, this is another reason you have to look at more than what a woman's butt looks like in a pair of jeans. You are spreading seed. You are equally responsible for the quality of the seed that is planted. And if you plant it into a toxic woman just because she knew how to do this to your penis or that to your nipples or whatever, you are not being effectively, you're not managing your seed correctly either. You're just
Mm.
not. And so you can't continue to just go after ass and go after breasts and go after who your boys are lusting after just so you feel like the man, because the seed that you're planting, you've got to be more wise with the fertile and the soil that you're selecting also. So that's why I think this is really important.
Okay, so again, for those that are just tuning in, Allison and I for Soul Sunday this week are talking about the chakras and sexuality. I'm actually gonna have to go back and edit the title because this actually has no title, because I was just to the point where I just was gonna keep typing it until we were actually on. So I'll go back and edit it later. And yes, if I look tired, I am. I am so sleepy right now, but I still had to do this today because this is a discussion that needed to be had.
Right.
So thank you everybody for tuning in. But definitely if you have any questions or comments, please comment and do so on the video. But now that we've, talked about sex for men versus sex for women, or that little piece of information, we're actually going to talk about, Allison already mentioned it, basically clearing energies from past lovers, which I've actually talked about this before as well. When of course, sex is more than just physical. It actually has to do with energy. That's why sometimes, depending on who you're sleeping with, you feel drained afterwards, or you feel energized afterwards, or you feel shame afterwards, or you feel embarrassed afterwards. Trust me, you don't have those feelings just because it wasn't good. You have those feelings because you are attaching yourself and connecting yourself with the wrong people. So, and sometimes, and in some cases, those feelings may not even belong to you. They may belong to somebody that you've slept with in the past, or even somebody that they've slept with in the past. It's just that you're now feeling it because you've never taken the time to clear out that particular energy. And if nobody ever clears out that energy, then guess what? You just, mixed up with all of these other energies that don't belong to you. And then you feel some type of way because, and you don't even understand why. You mad for no reason after he didn't, did his thing, and now y'all looking at each other crazy like, what was that? After y'all done chatted it up in the DMs and in the text messages and everything, talk about, like Allison said, I'm gonna do this and we gonna do this and it's gonna be like this, and in your mind, you didn't, you didn't thought up this whole thing and how it's gonna go. You didn't got off at the house and that person ain't even there. You like, oh, just wait till they get here, and then y'all get together. Then it's just like, wait a minute, that's why. I need you to understand that. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Coronado. You're welcome. Definitely engage, from a man's point of view. If you have something to say, Tony, hey Dolores, all y'all chime in. We want y'all to chime in. Don't act like y'all don't talk about sex, 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 sex. Y'all talk about it. But if y'all want to talk about it, let's talk about it for real. But you have to clear out those energies. And pretty much to clear it out is not hard to do. You pretty much just have to release it, because a lot of us hold on to stuff emotionally and mentally, and pretty much all we have to do is just let it go. And if you were never mindful that you were holding on to it subconsciously, then of course it's going to affect you. So just let it go mentally and emotionally. Sometimes you can just speak it and it's gone. Sometimes you can, take, of course there are certain type of blends of herbs and essential oils and stuff like that that you can use. I'm really not going to get into that because that particular part is not my area of expertise, but I can definitely refer you all to someone who is more knowledgeable in that particular area, but just know that it's possible. And same for the men. Y'all need to clear out that sacral chakra because ain't no telling um how much energy y'all, you know, wrapped up in and y'all done dipped into and whatever, but you know, and you know you need to let some of that go before you move on to the next person. The person that you move, if you respect her enough, you're gonna respect yourself enough to cleanse that area. And I mean spiritually, not with soap and water, but spiritually, emotionally, and mentally cleanse that negative energy out so you're not passing that on to her. And ladies, be mindful of who you are accepting. Y'all out here wanna, y'all know he not taking care of his kids. Trust me, it may not always be financially. That's mental and spiritual and emotional. You don't want that baggage. So just be mindful that you can clear out that energy. You have to clean out that energy. Allison, did you have anything else to say on that particular part of it?
I do. Shout out to Michael, Miss D, and Sean. What I wanted to say, and some of y'all, this might be TMI for you, but I want my sisters to really be aware of this, and my brothers also. I don't know that my brothers necessarily get these signs like women do, but you have to also be aware of the signs that the partner that you've accepted to connect with is toxic. And one of those ways is, you know, checking your feminine hygiene. It is really that simple. If you're somebody who never gets yeast infections and now you have them every other week since sleeping with this guy, that's a sign. It doesn't mean that it's something that you started eating or whatever other lie they want to try to give you for why you need to focus on what it is you're doing. That's a sign that your body is rejecting their energy. If you have
Y'all didn't think
different kind
about
of
that, did you?
bacterial, it's a lot of bacterial issues that you have, or, you know, I'll just keep it real. You dry up and you know that you don't have an issue with lubrication, but you find yourself drying up. Your spirit is telling you, reject this dude. It's not working. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they're cheating. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're doing things with other women, although it can. But what it means is that their energy is not ready to take care of your energy. It can be as simple as that. And usually when it
Right.
starts to affect your body like that, it's because you haven't paid attention to the other signs with your eyes, your intuition, or whatever. And so that's the universe's like last resort. Okay, let me start giving her this. Let me start letting this happen. Okay, fine. She's not getting that. Okay, well, fine. You're about to dry up in the middle of it. It's gonna hurt. It is all designed to let you know that the energy is not ready. The energy from that particular man is not ready to receive your respecting and committing and being loyal, whether you're around him or not. He's not in that space. Does not make him wrong. That's just where he is. Now, what makes him wrong is if he decides to keep trying to make you okay with where he is. But if that's just where he is, that's just where he is. You have to disconnect. So that's all I wanted to add.
Right. Right. And to add to what Allison was saying, as we're talking about chakras and sexuality, like, well, let me just put it like this. Sometimes y'all, those, like she said, those are signs that energetically you're not meant to be together. Even if at one point you two were energetically connected, at some point you can become unconnected in that way. And that's another sign that, hey, maybe it's time to move on. Maybe it's time we need to go our separate ways. But you know, that's stuff that people don't want to pay attention to. Y'all better start paying attention to that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It can save you a lot of problems and a lot of yeast infections. Okay. Now that we've talked about that a little bit, now I want to move on to talking about divine feminine and masculine energy, which I've talked about before. Our very first episode, we talked about this in great detail, but I'm gonna touch on it again today. Both men and women possess both feminine and masculine energy. It's just that in women, feminine is more prevalent, and in men, masculine is more prevalent. But we disconnect when it comes to meeting each other halfway. And when I say meeting each other halfway, I'm referring to, like I said earlier, sex for men versus sex for men versus women. For men is more rooted in the root chakra, for women more in the sacral chakra. We have to meet each other halfway, because in some situations, men, you all have to learn to be more emotional and more um in touch with your feelings to meet her. I'm not saying you have to go to the extent that she goes to, but you have to understand or understand that that's how she operates. So you have to kind of meet her halfway. Where at the same time, women, you have to understand that for men, it's more about survival. It's not so much, it's not emotional, and it's not so much about the feelings, but you have to understand where he's coming from and then what it's like for him. So that's where we have to meet each other in the middle to begin to connect. I honestly, this is what it looks like to me. What it looks like to me is women go further into the emotional and men go further into the masculine, and we're just getting further away from connecting. Now, well, of course, all of us are familiar with emasculation and all of that whole situation that's going on, but that's not what I'm referring to. I know y'all, and I know we also see where women become more independent and stuff like that and whatever. So sometimes when it comes to that particular situation, we just completely skip over the middle and just go far to this side. And then we have men that get way too much into their feelings and go over to the other side. So at no particular point in time is anybody meeting in the middle. You either over here or all the way over here, or either you cross and go all the way over to the other side. Why are we not meeting in the middle? It's not hard to understand. And wait a minute, I didn't mean to get loud. My bad. I didn't mean to get loud like that. But it's not hard to understand where we need to really start to meet in the middle. And the reason I think with us not meeting in the middle is because we connect. For one, we really don't connect like we should. We're more focused on attachments. And when you become attached, then that changes your whole thought process, the whole way, I mean, the entire way you feel about a person, the whole way you deal with the situation, and it just becomes a mess. Well, we get stuck blaming one and the other, and we keep having these same conversations over and over again, never resolving anything, never connecting. But you want to listen to everybody talk about what's not a good man, what's not a good woman, and everybody's blaming everybody. So I'm gonna just stop it right there, and I'm gonna let Allison go ahead and say what she got to say.
Shout out to Miss Edna and Aaron. How y'all doing? Thank you for joining us. One of the
Candy,
things that I thought
Iris,
about, and it was on a post that Ruby has on her personal page. I can't remember what the topic was, but I saw someone who commented that men and women were just different, period. And that is actually part of the reason that we can't connect, because it's not period. You shouldn't be saying period. You should be saying so. Because here's the thing, men are different from women. Women are different from men. This is not going to change because we were designed for particular purposes. And to fulfill those purposes, we were given more of some and less of others. If men were designed to be the protectors and go out and provide, and literally back in the day, go back and kill something and bring it home, they didn't have time to be in their feelings. Their job was to be logical, to survive, and to bring stuff home to their family. So men are supposed to have more logic, more strength, an ability to emotionally detach, so that because in some instances that will save their life. And I think that's something women don't understand. men not being emotional in certain situations literally save their lives. So asking them to not be that way is asking them to not be who they are. The same token for us ladies. Men cannot continue to say that you don't want women who are emotional, because the same emotion that cusses you out is the same emotion that cooks for you, that cleans for you, that wants to massage you, that wants to have your back, that lets you know when
Yes,
someone is not in having your best interest. It is all coming from the same place. And so the same way
exactly.
we have to deal with, the same way we have to learn to live with the fact that you may not be as emotional as we like, you also in turn have to understand that we're not going to be as unemotional as you like, because it will literally save your life as well.
Yes, girl.
A lot of us can keep you out of harm's way if you allow us. And so instead of saying that men and women are different, period, that's part of the problem. Women say it, men say it. I don't care that you're different, my brother. I'm different too. So you can't continue to try to connect with me and say, I'm not going to change. This is me, and this is what I've been given, and I'm not going to change. Women, we can't continue to connect to men and say, this is me, and I'm not going to change. Then both of you get out of the dating game, leave the rest of us alone, and go sit the hell down. Because the
Sorry.
reality, well, the reality is that you have to learn to compromise when you are dealing with another person, not just romantically, with your family, with your coworkers. If you run a business, if you own it, you have to learn that anytime you are connected to other people, it is not just for them to do what you say and to adjust to you. They are bringing something to the table that you need, or the universe wouldn't have connected you to them to begin with. Even if it's just a 5-second encounter, it's to impart
Yes.
something in you that you have to allow your ego and your pride and your past hurt and your resentments and whatever else that you had going on before meeting that person. You've got to tell them to shut up long enough to get whatever you need to get from that person. It's time out for men saying, I'm not going to cry. Then go be like that with your boys. It's time out for women to say, well, I'm not going to do this for a man, and I'm not going to do that for a man, and I'm going to need qualifications. No, they don't need to do that. No man who was not married to you has to pay for your bills, has to pay for your car, has to get your
Right.
hair and your nails done. They don't have to do that. And as long as you continue to make that a requirement, stop asking why you keep meeting men who just want to buy you and not love you. As long as you want to keep throwing money at women, my brother, stop asking why you keep meeting gold diggers. It's probably
Right. Wait, Allison, where you at? Come on now. Allison. Y'all, we lost Allison. But that's okay, because she gonna be coming right back. But I had a feeling she was gonna drop off. But trust me, what she was saying, y'all needed to hear. So let me get her back on. But while I'm waiting to bring her back on, then yes, of course, everything that she was saying makes absolute sense. Jamal, calm down. I am. She already on there. She coming back. Dang, calm down. Allison, oh, it's not giving me. I'm trying to see where I can send the invite, Allison, because oh, it's acting up. It's acting up. Allison, see if you can send me a request to be added to my broadcast, because I'm not sure what happened. It's not giving me the option to bring you back on. No, nowhere. And see, that's what I'm talking about. This Mercury retrograde and everything. We had enough problems trying to connect. But while I'm trying to bring her back on, but yes, definitely what she was saying, that's why men and women have a problem connecting. And trust me or understand me, a connection is different from an attachment. when it comes to relationships, sexuality, even work relationships, and personal relationships, business relationships. Allison, it's not giving me the option to bring you back on. See there? I told y'all we had something to talk about today. What's that? Yes, approved. There you go. Okay, she's coming back. Carnell says, when my understanding of women became clear to me, the communication with women was better. And then, oh, Allison, I'm just reading a few comments.
Oh, I saw them too. Yeah.
And Jamal said, right, I don't want to turn my woman into my homeboy so she can relate. It takes patience, and that is a rarity now. But yeah, Allison, we kind of lost the end of what you were saying.
Yeah,
But
this Mercury, well, I'm not going to say what I want to say about this Mercury retrograde. I'm just going to keep it moving. So,
exactly.
but what I was saying is, when I was talking about my brothers, and I said, you know, if you want to keep throwing money at women, stop complaining about the fact that you only seem to be attracting gold diggers, because here's what I found just in my dealings with the men who have been willing to open up and talk to me. A lot of the men who have spoken to me about some of the issues they're having with women, they have all said the same thing. This has been
Allison, it happened again. She must really got something to say because Facebook just keep cutting her off. So I have to wait for her to send an invite again. Everybody, I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. Trust me, actually started later today because we're having some issues. And now, as you can see, Allison keeps getting cut off, but that's okay because she's gonna keep coming back. That's how we do when we do Soul Sunday. But for those just tuning in, today we are discussing the chakras and sexuality. And yes, this is a really good topic today. And if you missed the beginning, don't worry, you'll be able to catch it on the replay. So definitely, once we end this, then go back and watch it. If you have any questions, please ask any questions. If you have any comments, please comment below. If you feel like any of this information that we're discussing or any of the information that we're sharing is beneficial, then please feel free to share the broadcast. But while I'm waiting for Allison, I'm just going to do a quick little recap of what we've discussed. Of course, we started out talking about the difference between a connection and an attachment and how that plays into our sexual relationships. And then, of course, we discussed sex for men versus women. Whereas for women, sex is more associated with the root chakra, because for men, sex is more about survival as opposed to it being emotional. And then for women, sex is more associated with the sacral chakra, because that's the chakra that's associated with emotions, feelings, sexuality, and feeling pleasure. And the reason there's a difference between the two is because men, of course, sex is more so associated with survival. That's why men can impregnate women for their entire life. And for them, it's more about building the family, building the legacy, making sure that the namesake is continued, or that the name is continued, the family name. Oh, there she is. And for women, it's we are only able to, have children up until a certain time, and we're more focused on emotions and nurturing the family, and raising the children and whatnot. I know I hit approve at maybe Allison having some trouble, but I'm gonna keep trying. And then after that, we discussed clearing energy from past lovers. Of course, whenever we are intimate with someone, then of course, any energies that they've been dealing with or that they've received from past lovers, plus any energies that you received from past lovers. Sometimes if you never, where a lot of the times if you never clean that out or clear that out, then that could cause you to have, you know, negative feelings that don't even belong to you, or feelings that you thought you wouldn't have, but because you haven't cleared out all of that past energy, then you're actually dealing with it. So we talked about that. And Allison, are you actually watching this live? Because I keep trying to add you, but it says no answer from live video guests. Maybe you're having some phone issues. But girl, Facebook is okay. Send me another request. For some reason it kept saying that I wasn't getting an answer from you. Approve. Add. Okay. Here she comes. And then now we're pretty much discussing meeting each other halfway. And what I'm referring to, or what we were referring to in meeting each other halfway, is understanding that the capacity that men work in when it comes to sex and how women work, and pretty much just meeting each other halfway and understanding that there's a purpose for men being the way they are and that women being the way that they are, and that we pretty much have to connect in the middle or meet each other in the middle in order to make this work. And that's where Allison was at when she was talking about guys and money and gold diggers.
And I'm going to keep talking. I don't care what the retrograde got to say, because apparently
Exactly.
somebody needs to hear this. So here,
Right.
what I was saying was this: the men who have decided to open up to me, been willing to talk about their feelings, they have unanimously said that they hid behind their money and what they could provide, because they each had at least one woman in their life who just wanted them for them, and that made them feel inferior, because the woman who wanted them for them saw their flaws, saw the things that were wrong with them, took them at face value, and still treated them well, and they don't know how to handle that. Some also said that they didn't know how to handle when she challenged him, not emasculated, because they could tell that there was a difference. They all said, I knew that she respected me, but I didn't know how to handle when she called me out on my wrong, when she told me that I could do better, when she told me that I was slacking off. I didn't know how to handle that, and it was easier for me to just find a woman to buy dinner for and buy gifts for, because she never got to know the real me. And so if there are other men out there who can relate to what these brothers have said to me, I need you to understand, and this is coming from a woman who does not find herself impressed by how much money you have or what kind of car you drive. This is coming from a woman who wants you in her life, but is not in a position or a mentality where she feels like she needs you. We are there because we're supposed to make you better, and you're supposed to help make us better. Not better in the sense that we're nothing before you come along, but if you're not with someone who enhances what you have and encourages you to be even better, then what are you doing it for? So when you have that woman in your life, she's not there to tell you that you don't have anything and you're not good enough at this or good enough at that. She's letting you know the things that you don't find valuable about you, I find valuable about you. And sometimes you have to see yourself through the eyes of someone else before you can effectively see yourself the same way. So if you are one of my brothers listening right now, stop pushing those women away and going for a woman who just wants you to the extent that your paycheck runs out. You're hurting yourself. It's not even about her being a gold digger. It's about you settling for less. And less is a woman who won't challenge you or cause you to rise up to the occasion and be the man that she has already spiritually and energetically seen you to be, even if you don't see it in yourself. So that's all I'm going to say. And screw you, Mercury retrograde. I said it anyway. You
good now?
I'm
good?
I'm good. I was gonna
Okay.
say what I had to
Okay.
say. And what's up?
I knew
What's
you
up, big
were.
bro?
I knew you were. I was like, she coming back, and until she gets back, here's a commercial break. But we all good. We still here. We
Yes,
still
we are.
listening. We still talking. They still listening.
Yes.
Yes. And then to piggyback off what she said, y'all know I'm an advocate for effective communication. And I'm going to keep saying it. I'm always going to say it. When it comes to these relationships, even sexual relationships, it's okay if afterwards, if it wasn't all of that, then just say that. It's not okay. First of all, let me put this out there first. Effective communication is when you're able to effectively convey your thoughts and feelings and emotions and understand that the person listening is going to be listening from their level of understanding and experience. But also on the flip side of that, when you're the one that's listening, you have to understand that that person is communicating to you from their level of understanding and experience. And simply because they tell you it wasn't all of that, or maybe I think we should work on this, or maybe we should try that, or whatever it is, that's in no way, shape, or form saying that you're not good, it wasn't good, or anything like that. It's just them being open and being honest with you and letting you know, well, hey, I didn't quite enjoy this. Let's maybe try this sometime, or I like this, or I like that. And we need to stop with this whole women faking orgasms and men just pretty much, I don't know how y'all, you know what? I'm gonna put it like this. When you put yourself in a situation and you have that connection with that guy where y'all connect energetically and you're focused on each other and you do it the right way, trust me, it's really a high. And when you're done, I'm just gonna say it's lit. I'm gonna put it like that. It'd be lit. It ain't lit because now that you done, your bottom knocked out, and now you walking around and you hurting for 3 days. No, it's that's not what it is.
Mm-mm.
It ain't because he banged your back out and now you trying to, no, that's not where it's at. And I don't even know what y'all discuss or what y'all be saying, or I don't know. Like Allison said, if she did it a certain way and it was sloppy enough or whatever the case may be, it's not always about that. I'm just saying. But when you communicate effectively about your what you all are doing, your sexuality, and being with your partner and being intimate, then it opens up a completely different level. I know we of course we like being stimulated mentally, we like being stimulated emotionally, but energetically,
Mm-hmm.
that is like a completely different level. And when you're able to connect in such a way like that, then and I know a little bit about this too. I don't know a whole lot, but you can actually begin to manifest things into your life using that particular energy. Because if you think about it, there is no other energy on this planet that's as pure and that's as powerful as sexual energy. When you and your partner get to that certain level, the only way that energy is created is when you two come together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying with anybody, but that particular person. You can have that connection with more than one person. I ain't saying that more than one time, I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's not just one person that you have that connection with, but it is, like I said, it's lit. And I'm just gonna put it like that. I'm thankful to have experienced it.
Mm-hmm.
What is the definition of energetically? You know what? Our first live episode of Soul Sunday, we talked about energies. and I'll actually post a link to that video. But it's like I said, it's a whole topic of
Yeah.
energy. Basically, everybody is made of energy. It's not just physical, it's not mental, it's not emotional, but we all have an energy body called a chakra system. And I actually have a video where we've discussed the chakra system in depth, and I can post that link too.
Hmm.
But when you connect, like today's topic is about chakras and sexuality. And so far, we've pretty much touched on every chakra. I just haven't mentioned it. We've talked about the chakra, the sacral chakra. We've talked about the solar plexus chakra, like for instance, the way we feel about ourselves and how we carry ourselves, and knowing ourselves, what we like, what we enjoy, then that's us balancing our solar plexus chakra. Because when we know what we want, then sexually we don't deal with, or we don't allow ourselves to deal with those individuals that's not going to satisfy us or give us what we need.
Hmm.
Okay, Daryl, thank you. Hey, Ebony. Hey, Christopher. Hey, Gino. I'm just um actually, I'm gonna leave it there. I was talking about effective communication, and I'm gonna let Allison chime in on that.
So what I wanted to add is, when we're talking about the effective communication, I'm going to talk from where Ruby left off, where she left off talking about orgasms and everything. And you may be thinking, okay, well, what do orgasms have to do with effective communication? So here's the thing. What I have experienced is, when I have stopped, and this has been years, I stopped letting the orgasm be my thermometer. I stopped letting having an orgasm be my barometer for how good it was or how good he was, or I don't do that anymore. Because once I started to figure out, and I've only experienced this with one person, but once I started to figure out that that sex is a true energy exchange, I started enjoying watching him more than figuring out how I was going to have my orgasm. I enjoyed watching him move. I enjoyed watching his body. I enjoyed feeling his muscles tense up. I enjoyed watching his face, and I all of it. I enjoyed the actual experience way more than did I have an orgasm.
Exactly.
And that made it more enjoyable for me. But here's the other thing that happened. The orgasms I had were more intense because I wasn't having sex selfishly. Some of y'all are having a lot of selfish sex, and your communication is reflective in the way that you have sex. If you are giving and you know how to ask for what you want and say if you like this or don't like this, and if you know how to do that, you are not you're not sexually selfish. I'll say it that way. You will find that your encounters with that person are going to be more intense. They are going to mean more, and they're going to have a better expression of who you are, way more than what his or her list of skills could be. So I encourage you, especially, and I say this to especially to my brothers and sisters who are okay with multiple partners. Here's my opinion. It's my opinion. You're not going to change it. You can just decide to disagree. But my opinion is, when you have multiple partners, you are weak sexually. And the reason that I say you are weak sexually is because you can't possibly be learning new stuff when all you got to do is the same crap with different people. You can't. I just don't know how. I mean, I guess you could stay with somebody long enough to try some new stuff on them and then see if it works on the rest of the people. But I find, if you take your time with one person, specifically one person who has your back, that you know just wants you for you, you are mature enough to handle it and reciprocate, there's no way. Y'all are the best lovers because you've taken the time to learn that person, not just give them what made another woman or man scream. That's weak. I don't want it. I don't want to be around it. And if you're not sure if you're dealing with someone like this, check your communication. If they don't communicate with you very well, they're giving you the same routine that they gave the chick or the dude before you. I'm just putting that out there. I can guarantee you, if you run into one of their ex-partners, they're going to tell you the same routine from step one to step whatever. and you're gonna find out that he or she did the same stuff with everybody else. But you find someone who's not selfish, I guarantee you, you're
Mm-hmm.
getting a new book.
Right.
Just putting that out there.
She told y'all. But she's absolutely correct. Effective communication, throat chakra. But she's absolutely correct. Now, and trust me, when you start looking at sex differently and dealing with it differently and experiencing it differently, trust me, you would be amazed at how your standards going to increase when it comes to that thing alone. And you'll be amazed at the type of connections you start
Yep.
forming with the people.
Yep.
You'll be amazed at how not becoming attached is so easy
Mm-hmm.
because you know what it feels like to, you know, the level of enjoyment you get out of connecting versus being attached. Trust me, y'all gonna learn. Y'all gonna learn. And let me see. We talked about all of the chakras, third eye chakra, sexuality, and the third eye chakra. Well, now I'm not gonna get into that today, and I'm not gonna get into the crown chakra because I've actually think we've said quite a bit today on this particular show. Yeah, we said a whole lot today. Even though Allison got kicked off twice, we started 15 minutes late, and we had all these other technical difficulties. It's okay. We still said what we had to say. And we thank you
Yes.
all for watching through it all. If you've been here from the very beginning of this show all through to the end, we want to thank you for watching. We appreciate you. Now, don't forget Tuesday. This Tuesday, the day after tomorrow, Tuesday,
Yes.
myself, Allison, and Miss Tara Jackson will be bringing you the second episode of Happy, Healthy, and Healing, and we will be talking about relationships and mental wellness. And trust me, y'all don't want to miss that either. That's gonna be juicy too. And that will be this Tuesday at 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central Time, right here on my live stream. And of course, you'll be able to see it on Tara's live stream as well as Allison's. If you're not following them, make sure you follow them. Um, and one thing, because it's Allison's birthday today, I'm gonna gift her both of my books.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you.
yes. Yes, for those of you that don't know or haven't, seen it for some reason, I am the author of the Goddess Grind series, and these are the first two books. I'm actually working on the third now. The first one is specifically about balancing chakras and manifesting success, and the second one is about universal law. And
Yay.
yes, so I'm gonna send those to Allison for her birthday today.
Thank you.
From the beginning. It is her birthday today, so y'all can tell her happy birthday. Don't tell her on this video because I do not want all them notifications. Go to her page and tell her happy birthday. Yes,
I'm not
go to
mad
her
at you.
page and tell her happy birthday. But we thank you all for watching today's episode where we talked about the chakras and sexuality. We hope this was beneficial for you. And Tony, I just told you, do not comment on this video. Tell her Allison happy birthday. I said go to her page
Y'all
and tell her.
find me on Allison Denise, y'all.
That's what I'm talking about. That effective communication. But no, Tony, you know what? It's cool. I'm gonna let you slide today. I'm gonna let you slide. Cool. But don't
Oh my
nobody else do it. But we thank you all for watching today, and we will see you all on Tuesday. Definitely, if you all want to book a chakra consultation with me, you can do that. Just message me. You still have time to save $25. If you want to buy the book, either of the books, you can go to my website, www.thegoddessgrind.com, and purchase the books there. What else was I gonna say? But yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Ruby D Artistry, RubiDArtistry. You can find me on Twitter at RubyD1980. You can find my Goddess Grind page on Instagram at the Goddess Grind. And yeah, that's all I got for right now. Allison?
What's up, guys? As Ruby mentioned, you can find me right here on Facebook. Look for me under Allison Denise. You can also link up with me on the following Facebook pages: Be Still and Move, Be Still and Move's group, the HDL group, which is the page for our official 501c3 nonprofit that is the parent company of Be Still and Move. You can also find me under Allison Denise, as well as Rise Financial Education Group, where we are showing you guys how to restore, insure, invest, save, and enjoy using your money for the right reasons, the right way, so that you can enjoy the rest of your life. Otherwise, you can locate me on Instagram under I Will Be Still and Move and Miss Allison Denise. You can locate me on Twitter under Be Still and Move. And don't forget, for those of you who have been waiting to get an hour of just Miss Allison, Be Still and Move Live, the podcast, is starting not this coming Monday, but the following Monday, the very first Monday in April from 7 to 8. I will be broadcasting it live, so make sure that you are linked up with me. We're getting some things in the works. I'm extremely excited, looking forward to it. But in the meantime, you can catch me on Facebook Live between 8:15 and 8:30 every Monday through Thursday and Friday if I can fit it in. And you can also catch me on the Bad Squad, Fishbowl Radio Network, 9 to 11 Central, 10 to midnight Eastern. Catch us on the Green Stream and download the app. That's it.
Yep, that's it. Oh, and one last thing I wanted to say. I will start on Thursday evenings. I will start doing live discussions and live readings and discussions about my book series, The Goddess Grind. Yeah, I'm gonna make myself do that. I have to discipline myself. But pretty much every Thursday, I'm not sure of the time yet. Probably like around 6, 7. I don't know. I'll let y'all know.
Okay.
But pretty much I'll be reading directly from the book, not the whole book. I'm not reading the whole book. I'll just read parts of the book and then, go live. And of course, we can discuss what was read, your thoughts and feelings and whatnot. So that's how that's going to go. But we thank you all for tuning in this week. Of course, you can find us here each and every Sunday for Soul Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central. Of course, if we have some technical difficulties, we will still be here. It may be a little late like we were today, but we will still be here.
Yes, we will.
Because we know y'all want to be hearing what we talk about. And actually, I still don't. Oh, here's my little book right here. What we going to talk about next week? Let me see. See my little book that I got. Y'all, last year I spoke at an event called Work, Pray, Slay. And it's right notebook that I got. So I'll be writing my little show ideas in there. So I was like, oh, it's so cute. I got to use it for something. So let me see. Next week, we're going to talk about, let's do couples and meditation. Hey, Mama. Oh, I'm glad you got on late.
Man, you ain't lying.
Don't watch this one, Mommy.
Don't watch this one.
I'm ending right now, Mommy. Here I come, Mommy. But yeah, I think we're going to talk a little bit about meditation and relationships. Yeah. I don't know. I give y'all the, I don't know what the exact topic going to be, but it's going to be a little bit about meditation, because after Tuesday, y'all going to need it.
For real.
That's all I'm going to say.
Hope y'all ready.
But it's a pleasure. Like I said, go to Allison page and tell her happy birthday. Don't comment on this video because y'all could be watching this video on Wednesday and be like, happy birthday, Allison.
I know, right?
Birthday no more. But it's okay. We appreciate you all. We thank you.
Thank you.
Let me see. November, December, January, February, March, April. Start 6 months. Woo! We got to bring the fire for the next month.
We got this. We got this. We got it.
All right. Well, Allison, enjoy your birthday.
Thank you.
And Oh no, that's all I got. We ain't got nothing else to say, y'all.
Nothing
We
else.
said enough today. So we gonna see y'all next Sunday. Well, actually, we're gonna see y'all Tuesday
Tuesday,
for
yes.
Happy, Healthy, and Healing with me, myself, and I mean not me, myself, me, Allison, and Tara. Y'all, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm sleepy. That's why I look like this. I know y'all looking at her like, damn, why she look like that? Because I'm
Enjoy
tired.
your nap. Please enjoy your
I
nap.
will. Girl, I gotta go. I gotta do some cleaning. Then I'm gonna take a nap.
All
So
right.
peace and love, y'all. We'll see. Peace
Peace,
and
y'all.
love, y'all. We'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.
Bye.